Welcome back. So let's talk about routing. Routing. Okay. It is also called IP routing. Okay, you will only find this in a very complex network environment. So what is routing? I like this definition. That is why I brought it here. Okay. The definition says the term routing refers to taking a packet. If you remember, I said traffic at layer 3 is called packets. Okay, go and watch my lecture on OSI layer. If you don't know what packet is. Packet is just traffic, okay? Taking a packet from one device and sending it through the internet network to another device on a different network. Let me break this down. This alone is enough for this lecture. So now, this is what that definition is talking about. Let me clean this up. Okay, so that definition is saying you have different network. Okay, you are now taking data or packets. Okay, whenever you see me using the word packets, I'm referring to traffic, I'm referring to data you are sending over the network, I'm referring to whatever information you are sending over the network. Packet is network jargon. Okay, is the language for traffic at layer 3. Okay, so now taking packets through different network, that is what they mean by internet work. This is internet work for instance. Okay, I think this is even the basics of internet. This is the basis of internet. I'm revealing what is happening at the internet to you now. Okay, so internet work means you have different network connected together. Okay, internet work. Okay, or short form internet. Okay, but don't let me call it internet so that I will not be confusing you. So internet work. So now, meaning a device is connected here, okay, and is going to facebook.com somewhere. Let's say this is Facebook server, somewhere. Okay, so now this device travel through this router, okay, travel through this network, through this network. Different network. You travel through different network before you reach your destination. That is routing. That is what is called routing. And the device that we normally use to perform routing is our router. Okay, router is the device that we normally use to perform routing. Router is the device that we use for performing routing. Okay, so now the purpose of routing is to know about our next neighbor. We have a message for our neighbor in the 3rd, 5th, 6th street. We want to send message to our neighbor in Abuja. We want to send message to our neighbor in UK. Okay, that traffic, that message need to travel through different neighbor, different compound before it gets to its destination. Okay, so now what's brought about routing? What's gave us to what is called routing? What led to routing? Okay, the reason for routing is that normally a router only knows about connected network. Okay, let's say this is a router. You have your network connected. Let's say this is a switch and you connect your laptop. This is another switch you connect your laptop. And this is a router. Okay? This router only knows about this connected network. It has no any idea of any network. It is only the directly connected network that it knows about. Okay, let me break this down for you to understand better. Let's say I have like 4 networks, for instance. Let's say I have a router, I have another router, and I have another router. Okay, router. Okay, let's say this is a network here. This is another network here. We connect this router to this. We connect this router to this. Let's call this 2, and let's call this 3. Router 1, for instance, only knows about this connected network and this connected network. It doesn't know about the network between R2 and R3. It doesn't know. He doesn't know unless R2 tells him about it. Unless R2 tells R1 about this network between R2 and R3. Router 1 also doesn't know about this network. Okay? This is a network. This is network 1. This is network 2. This is network 3. This is network 4. Router 1 only knows about network 2 and network 1. It does not know about network 3 and it does not know about network 4. Do you agree? Okay, so now you now need what is called routing. You need to perform routing on each of these routers so that they can tell one another. Okay, same way that router 1 does not know anything about network 2 and network 3. Sorry, same way router 1 does not know anything about network 3 and network 4. That same way router 3 too does not know anything about network 1 and it does not know anything about network 2. Meaning for router 1 to know about network 4 and for it to know about network 3, something must be done. Because normally, how a router behave is to forward packets to only connected network. So far, you configure IP address on those interfaces, which we have practiced before now. Okay, so it knows only about the connected network. So now, for it to know about other network somewhere, the neighbor router needs to tell his neighbor about other network that he knows about. This is what I mean by that. Router 2, for instance, needs to tell R1 about R3. Okay, needs to tell R1 about network 3 and also need to tell R1 about network 4. So now, router 1 now have record of network 3 and 4. Okay, because 2 has told him about network 3 and he told him about network 4. So now, if R1 have a packet that is going to network 4, for instance, he will just give it to R3. Okay, he will just give it to R2. Sorry, that R2, you told me that you know about network 4. My people in network 1 want to go to network 4. So help me send this to the destination that you said you know about. Okay, let me repeat this all over again so that you can understand. Let me repeat it again so that you can understand. I said a router only knows about the directly connected network. So this is a connected network. Let's call this 1. This is another connected network, 2. Okay, only 2 networks are connected to R1, right? So comfortably he knows about network 1 and network 2. Network 2 also comfortably know about network 2 and 3. R2 only knows about network 2 and network 3. He doesn't know about network 1. Do you agree? Also, R3 only knows about network 3 and network 4. It knows nothing about network 2 and network 1. Agreed, right? So now, for R1, for instance, to know about 3 and 4, that means R2 needs to tell, okay, sorry, let me say it this way. For R1 to know about network 3 and network 4, something must happen, because this is now opposite of, this is now against the normal way a router operates on a normal day. Okay, it needs to know about those networks. So now R2 needs to tell R1 about R3 and R4. So something must take place. And what is that thing that must take place? Is called routing. The process through which router tell one another about their neighbor, about their connected network, is called routing. Okay, that's another definition from me now. I invented that definition just right now. Okay, that process by which router tells their neighbor about their connected network is called routing. So R2 needs to tell R1, I have network 3 connected to me. Okay, and R3 also, R2 need to tell R1 that I have network 3 connected to me. R3 also will tell R2 that I have network 4 connected to me. Okay, so now R2 again will tell R1 again that I have another network called 4. I just got it from R3, so you can add it to your record. Okay, this will happen in reverse manner. R1 also will tell R2 that I have network 1 connected to me. Can you see the record on R2 now? R2 now have record of 4 and 1. Okay, R1 will tell, okay, just 1. So R2 as well will tell R3 that I have 2 connected to me. Okay, so they are telling one another which network is connected to them. And R2 will also do ofofo, we do gossip. That okay, R1 also tells me that he has 1 connected to it. Okay, so R2 will give R3 that network to that. R1 told me that it has network 1, so take. So in case your people want to go to 1, I have it. Okay, so this record they are keeping is what is called route. Route is just like a map. Okay, R2 is keeping this map. It's just like a map. You have a map of where you are going. They now have a map. We call it route. See it as a map. They all now have map of where they are going. Okay, and the place where they normally store this route, where they normally keep this map, is what is called routing table. Okay, every router normally keeps what is called routing table. It is their map, their Google map of where they are going. So far, they have the record. Okay, based on what you configure on them. So now, your job now as a network professional is to be able to configure routing on your router. Okay, for you to be able to configure R2 to tell R1 about the connected network, for you to be able to tell R3 to tell R2. Okay, for you to be able to form this routers map, their routing table. So your job as a network professional, part of your job is to be able to configure routing on these routers so that people in network 1 can easily go to network 4. People in network 1 can easily go to network 4. That's your job as a network professional. So in the next class, I will show you three ways by which we can configure routing